Now, in this video, this is actually not in your guided notes, but before we move on with this idea of multi-step equations, I want to take a step back and review order of operations. So, if you have your guided notes, this is not in your guided notes. You can either write it on a side, you can write it somewhere else, or just get yourself a blank sheet of paper, pause the video, go find that, and then come back because we're going to review your order of operations. Now, order of operations, if you forgot, we have PEMDAS. So PEMDAS, and I usually write it like that. This is also please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I've heard some other ones that are pretty slick and pretty fun. However you learn this, I'll take anything, but that's what we're dealing with here. P, if you forgot, is parentheses. E is exponents. MD is multiply / divide. And then AS is add and subtract. Now, teachers write this in different ways. The reason I write M and D next to each other and A and S next to each other is because if you remember, they can kind of flip-flop. It just depends which one comes in your equation first when you're looking at it from left to right. So if you have both multiplication and division, if multiplication is first, you do it first. If division is first, you do that first. They go back and forth. Now, let's take a look at what this actually means. If I'm looking at my expression over here and I want to simplify it, I've got a whole lot of things to do. So the question is, well, what do I do first? We go to our checklist. P, do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. So I have to do what is inside those parentheses before I do anything else. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, okay, that's 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 is a -2. And then I'm just going to drop everything else down. So I had a 12 plus, behind the parentheses, I had a divided by 2, and then a plus 5. Then I say, okay, well, I left the parentheses just to be safe, but parentheses are really done because there's nothing left to do in them. Moving on, exponents. That's like 2 to the 2nd power, 3 to the 4th power. Do I have any in this expression? No. So I'm going to move on. Multiplication or division? Well, that's addition. That's division. That's addition. So I have to do division. So division is next. Here's the division sign. -2 is touching, 2 is touching. So -2 divided by 2 is +1. Then I bring down. I had a plus 5. I had a 12 plus. Division is gone. There was no multiplication. Addition or subtraction, I just have addition. So at this point in time, 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 plus 5, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And 18 is our final answer. Let's try again. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Take a look at your expression. Are there any parentheses? No. Are there any exponents? Absolutely. If I go do the exponents, I'm just grabbing 4 squared. 4 squared really means 4 times 4. There are 2 4s. 4 times 4 is 16. Then I drop down the -2, I drop down the 10 plus 32, and I drop down the division sign. The only thing I dealt with was what I circled in red. Exponents, gone. Multiplication or division? Well, that's a plus. There's division. Division. So 32 divided by 16, and that is actually, I believe, 2. Then I drop down the -2. I drop down the 10 plus. Division is done. There is no multiplication. Addition or subtraction? There are both. But if I look from left to right, I have a 10 and then I have a plus. So you do the addition first. 10 plus 2 is 12. Then you drop down the minus 2, which is your last step. So now we do the subtraction, and our final answer should be 10. Next one, 30 minus 2 times 5 times 4. Okay, there's a whole lot going on. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now, when I see an expression like this, and this is really where we're going when we solve the linear equations, everyone I see really wants to take 30 minus 2. And then you want to say, okay, 30 minus 2 is 28. And then I'm going to take that times 5 times 4. No, because you didn't follow your order of operations. Okay, so you can't do 30 minus 2 first. You have to go back and say, oh, parentheses first. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then you bring down. So now I'm going to bring down my 30 minus 2. Now, at this point, can I take 30 minus 2? No, you still can't. Follow your list. So parentheses are gone. There were no exponents. Multiplication or division? Yes, there is multiplication. I don't see a multiplication sign, but it's there with these parentheses. So 2 times 20 is 40, and then you bring down 30 minus 40, which ultimately is negative 10. Let's try again. 6 plus 24 divided by 2 plus 3 times 2. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I'll go through this one a little quicker. Parentheses first. 3 times 2, 6. Then I'm going to bring down the 6 plus 24 divided by 2 plus my 6. Parentheses are gone. I mean, they're still there, but there's nothing in them that I can simplify. Exponents, no. Multiplication or division, that's a plus, that's a divide, that's a plus. I'm thinking division. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. Bring down your plus 6, bring down your 6 plus. At this point, it is just addition, so we're just going to add. I'm going to go with 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. And we're done. Okay, 2 more of these, and then we'll get back to our actual lesson. 7 plus 5 times 2x minus 4? Okay, so please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So once again, parentheses. Yep, I see parentheses. 2x minus 4. How do I simplify 2x minus 4? They're not like terms. I can't actually subtract them. My teacher is trying to trick me. I can't do that. Okay. Exponents. They don't exist. Multiplication or division. There's multiplication. You can't see it, but it's there. So multiplication is sitting right here with this 5 times my parentheses, which actually gets us into a little bit more of a view, which is called our distributive property. So you have to multiply this 5 by not only that 2x, but by also the negative 4. And whatever you do, do not do 7 plus 5. That's addition. That doesn't come until we're done. So 5 times 2x, 5 times 2 is 10, 10x. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So we just made this bigger by a factor of 5. Then I'm going to bring down my 7 plus. At this point, multiplication is gone. There was no division. Add and subtract. I have add, I have subtract, but the first one is addition. Okay, well now I'm going to look at that and go, wait a minute. 7 plus 10x. My teacher's trying to trick me again. I can't do that. Well, can I do 10x minus 20? Nope, can't do that either. So now we go into this simplify mode where we combine like terms. I can put together a 7 and a negative 20. So 7 plus negative 20, because these are like terms, let's see, is negative 13. And then I still have my 10x. And the answer here would be 10x minus 13. That is as simplified as you can go because I threw the x in. One more. 5 minus 3 times x plus 1. Same thing. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, yep, x plus 1. How do you simplify x plus 1? You don't. You can't add an x and a 1. Exponents? No. Multiplication and division? Yes. Multiply. This time, we can think of this two different ways, but the way I want you to think about it is this is a negative 3. So we're going to take the negative 3 and we're going to multiply it by the x, and then we're also going to multiply it by the 1. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 1, negative 3. Then we drop down the 5, and we're looking at 5 minus 3x minus 3. Now, once again, you got that x in there. I don't see any other x's, so we're looking for like terms. I have a 5, I have a minus 3. 5 minus 3 is just 2. And then we've still got a negative 3x. That's a plus 2. The way I know it's a plus 2 is because 5 minus 3 is a positive 2. And that's as simplified as you can go.